Hello, welcome. Today we will go for one of the prose lessons from your second year text, that is A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, written by Rabindranath Tagore. As we are all aware, that Rabindranath Tagore is known as Vishwakavi, multifaceted genius, and who won a Nobel Prize for Literature for his Gitanjali. A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise is all about how an artist enters into paradise, and his entry is considered as a wrong man entering into workers paradise, and how an artist has spoiled the work of the others and is interfered in the works of the others, how the principle of utilitarian philosophy is applicable and to what extent, and all that is all about the lesson. So let us share my screen. Yeah. A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. So, as just now we had a talk about Tagore's brief biography. So, he lived during 1861 to 1941, and he is the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize for Literature for his collection of the poems Gitanjali. And Rabindranath Tagore is a multifaceted artist. He was a poet, a novelist, a playwright, a painter, and also a music composer. So there are no boundaries for his art, whether it is poetry, whether it is a novel, whether it is a play, or even education. So he is par excellent in all these fields. So Rabindranath, as a poet, got Nobel Prize in literature, and not only that, he is a great philosopher and also a visionary educationist. So he established Shantiniketan School and Vishwabharati University, which has attracted the people from all corners of the world. And he is fondly called by Mahatma Gandhi as Gurudev. So as a philosopher, Rabindranath Tagore has made a big influence, and he is also a freedom fighter. Rabindranath Tagore, we should feel proud about, proud of him as Indians. So his contribution to literature, his contribution to education, his contribution to philosophy is really ever remembering one. He made a remarkable impression in all these fields. So what is all about the story? So we have come across the title A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. So what the story is about? So art for art's sake, Victor Cousin said, what is art for art's sake? So if you look at the artist, he goes on producing one work of after the other. So whether it is poetry, whether it is painting, whether it is sculpture, the artist all the time involves himself in producing a great work of art. So he will be all the time engaged in it. So if you ask him why you are creating all these things, and see what benefit that he is going to get out of them. So what normally we get the answer is for satisfaction, for their own passion. They go on doing them. That means art for art's sake. You cannot just value the art. See, it cannot be measured at all. So art for art's sake, Victor Cousin said, and need not serve any political or didactic or moral or practical purposes. Art need not serve. It's not compulsory that the art should serve the political purposes or the moral or practical purposes. So not all art should need not serve the purpose. Of course, in creating better worlds, artists they go on giving their own experiences, and sometimes a satire they may use to expose the follies of the government and all that, so that people will get aware and will fight for a better world. So artists has a social purpose sometimes, but it is not compulsory or it is not necessary. So artists, they just go on doing their own work of art, producing their own work of art just for the sake of art only. So it is a kind of pursuit of a pure beauty. So as we have come across the definition of beauty by John Keats, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases but never pass into nothingness. That means a thing of beauty is all the time a joy. So for pure beauty, in pursuit of that, so in attaining excellence in that, so the artist goes on, I didn't producing one thing after the other. So the whole life he spends in the passion and also in pursuit of achieving excellence in that particular art. So what materialistic progress he gets or not, that's a secondary thing. Artist will never mind whether his work of art is being valued by the people or not, or what materialistic value he has achieved through his art, and all that is immaterial for him. So he just goes on doing it only for his own happiness, and in pursuit of the beauty he goes on producing the work of art. And the purpose of the art need not be political or any other practical purposes. All work, but all work no play makes jock a dull boy. So these days all our lives are full with activity. That means from morning to evening, all the 24 hours a day we are totally engaged in doing work and work and work and work. So that way we are ever busy with our work, and we often say to our own people that we are busy and we can't make time for our own the meeting friends, or spending time with our own family, and also the relatives, that also on some other issues. So that way everybody in this competitive world has become so busy. So if you are all the time busy, you will be missing lot many things in your life. So you will be missing the aesthetics of your life also. So all work when there is no play makes jockey a dull boy. So this is a proverb. So if you are doing work and work and work and all the time, they engaged into it, so you will be losing your identity. So that way, how far the art is consoling one, or say an entertaining one, or else a kind of place where you can get the real happiness from it. So art is a complex concept in a simple. So this is a complex concept. This philosophy is very complex. If you are asked to choose for both, beauty or your duty, then naturally both are important in our lives. Both beauty and also duty is important. So we should look at our work, and at the same time we should look at the beauty of beauty the life offers. So that means through pursuing arts, you can get the satisfaction that is really in pursuit of the beauty of the particular art that you are interested in, will definitely make you happy. So that way, there is always a tie or a clash between the sense of beauty and the sense of duty. So how should we go about it? So the item is so complex, the concept is so complex, but in a simple and humorous narrative, Rabindranath Tagore talks over a beautiful story here. So what is a wrong man here? So that means a person who is not fit to that particular place, and that is paradise. So a wrong man in a worker's paradise. So who is that wrong man? The man never believed in utility and had no useful work to do, indulged in mad whims. So there was a man, and the man was never believed in utility. That means he doesn't engage in active work. There are any productive work which can give him the materialistic wealth. So the man never believed in utility at all. He never believed in the philosophy of utility. That means if you do this, this is the benefit that you are going to get. So he is not interested in any materialistic progress. So he doesn't believe in them at all. So the man never believed in utility, had no work, no useful work to do. So since he has no particular work to do, no particular profession he has into in, So he indulged in mad whims. So made little pieces of sculpture, men, women, and castles, etc. So he used to prepare, make some sculpture with the material available with him. Sometimes the waste material, and sometimes the shells from the sea and all that. So for an artist, everything is useful and everything is meaningful. So whatever is in it, at his own disposal, so he tried to use them and make the beautiful sculptures. So his sculptures include men, women, castles, etc., and all that. And since he is a painter, he all the time engages in preparing beautiful paintings. So all the time he engaged in it. So looking at this man's business, people laughed at him because having no work to do, he engaged in doing these activities. And of course, these activities are not commercial and they are not going to give him any materialistic wealth. So that way, people laughed at him. What kind of business he is engaged in? He's doing nothing at all, doing some toys, he's doing some sculptures. So he's painting and all that seems to be something, say, unproductive. So they are of no utility at all. So all people laughed at him because the man has no work to do and engaged in these petty things. So spent all his life in unnecessary things on earth. So that way he spent the entire say life on the earth like this only, engaging in the work of art and doing some sculpture, painting and all that, and doing no particular business or no particular work that everybody does. So no professional work that he is doing here. So that way the entire life is spent on preparing the sculptures and what you call painting and all that. So that's how he spent the entire life on the earth, and after death he reached heaven. So as we are aware, the people who are the students who are preparing for examinations well, so they may not sometimes pass, but those who are not prepared well for the examination, they sometimes get good grades, isn't it? So similarly, this man has not done anything on the earth. See, so he seems to be useless. There was not much utility with this man, but fortunately, he was sent to the heaven. So the heaven was there. So Ariel messenger made a mistake, and he took this idle man, to the workers' paradise and placed it there. So the man who has no work at all, see, having nothing to do, he was in the dreams, and he started preparing sculpture, so making toys, making with men, women, causal, and all kinds of sculptures he used to do, and also used to engage in painting. So everybody felt that this man is of no use on earth, but ultimately at the end of his death, he was invited to the heaven. Ariel messenger took him and placed in the workers' paradise. So in workers' paradise, everybody was busy. So paradise is a kind of world. It's an imaginary world where people are all the time happy and there won't be any troubles at all. So they spend time happily in the paradise. So that is the concept that Hindu mythology has. So in workers' paradise, everybody seems to be very busy, and all even the torrent there is not making any noise. Everybody is engaged in their own work, and so they feel that the time is very precious, and they never find time for except they find everything except leisure. That means they never find leisure at all. All the time they are engaged into work, and they say time is precious. They also exclaim, God, we haven't a moment to spare. That means we don't have, find a moment to spare some time on leisure. So that way they are spending, and we are making use of every single minute. They are very happy that every single moment is used in productive activity. So that way they feel that engaging themselves in productive activity is a meaning for their lives. So that way they are very happy in doing all the work right from morning to evening. So that way in workers paradise everybody is engaged and everybody gives lot of importance work and also for the time. They say the time is precious, or they say dear time is flying. So that way they are flying with the time. So they're very cautious all the time. They are engaged in their own activity which is productive. So they feel extremely happy working all the time and being engaged all the time. And see, they consider time as precious. And see, they sometimes exclaim that they never find a moment to spare. So like that, the entire people in the paradise, in the workers paradise, are all engaged in work. So that's why they made paradise more beautiful with their work. So make them feel happy and exalted. That means exalted means filled with joy. So all the time they feel happy and they are their hearts are filled with joy. So though they engaged from see the entire time they engaged without finding the leisure, but they never felt see boring, or they never felt uh, see depressed, but they all the time feel happy and exulted. So it is the all that is there in your mind. If you feel that you are working more and more and needs a lot of say what you call leisure, or longing for leisure is of no use. So it is all there in your mind. If you feel that your work is your pleasure, then you can enjoy it. If you feel that your work is boredom, and if you feel that your work is burdensome, that is also true. So it is all there in your mind how you take the work. So here in workers paradise, people took the work very seriously. And everybody is engaged in the work, everybody is happy that they are very productive, and they are making use of every single minute in their lives. And so they are extremely happy, and their hearts are filled with joy. So that way, contrary to the man who entered into the workers' paradise, the people of the paradise are all the time engaged. But whereas the man who entered the paradise is having no work to do. So the newcomer here is the man who comes from earth, right? The newcomer launched in the streets absent-mindedly. So having nothing to do, he launched in the street absent-mindedly, because if you look at the artists all the time, they are engaged in some kind of dreaming, some kind of creative activity will be going on in their minds. So that way it seems to others that he is absent minded. But since this man has no particular work even in the workers paradise, so he was lounging in the street and with absent mindedness, and jostled with hurrying men laid down in grass meadows, always in the ways of others. That means he was interfering in the works of the others, the hurrying man. And lay down in green see grass meadows, used to spend some time see lying on the grass, see in the mid of the meadows, he was spending his time. And having nothing to do, he started interfering with the people who are already engaged in the work. So he started see interfering in hurrying men, and always in the way of others he used to come. So that way, the wrong man who has entered the paradise, having no work to do in the paradise, also spending lot of time enjoying the beauty of the nature, lying on the grass meadows, and see lounging in the streets. That's how he spent his time. And also interfering in the affairs of others, interfering in the work of others. So he's nothing but and see spoiling the work of others in another way. So a hustling girl went every day to a silent torrent to fetch water. So he has seen a hustling girl. That means a girl who moves quickly went every day to a silent torrent to fetch water. So there was a beautiful torrent, and even the torrent is not also making sound here, because it is engaged in doing its own business. So there is no what you call talking. Only the working is will be there. So a hustling girl went every day to a silent torrent to fetch water. So that hustling girl took pity on this man. because this man is doing nothing here. So spending his time absent-mindedly on the roads and even on the see grass meadows. So she observed him and wanted to help him. So took pity on him and asked for the sort of work he likes. So she came to him and asked what kind of work that you wanted to do. Then this man said, the newcomer said, yes, I want to see, have a picture to draw pictures on it. So she was startled. See, what kind of work is this? So she did not understand it properly, and she felt that this man is not serious about doing the work at all. So in the first instance, she denied. She did not respond to his own request. Then every day asking her for a picture. So every day he started asking that hustling girl to give him a picture, so that he can draw some pictures on it. So at last, she after persuasion, she gave one to him. She did not understand why this person is asking for the picture and what is the purpose of drawing pictures on it, and see what way it is going to be see useful. So she did not understand, but anyhow, she gave a picture to him. Then this man, having got the picture from that hustling girl, started painting on it, and he painted and he also colored it and he gave it to her. So he uh, drew a beautiful paint, see, pictures on the picture, and he gave it to her. Then, looking at this picture, she started at the picture, so, sorry, stared at the picture and asked, what do they all mean? So there are some drawings on the picture, and she did not understand it all. And she asked the idle man that what is all about. So what is all the lines, colors, and the purpose of those figures on the picture. So then he said, nothing. A picture never has any meaning and it never serves any purpose. He said, it has no meaning at all and it is not going to serve you in any way, has no purpose at all. Because the people who are all the time giving importance for utilitarian activities, they consider appreciating the work, they never appreciate the work of art. They consider spending time on see the pursuing of the arts is mere waste. So it has no purpose at all. So the same idea he has given here, he has replied in such a way that whatever the general opinion of the people, and see if he was asked by the people why he is doing all pursuing that his work of art. So to find out the meaning, see, this is only the meaning everybody gives. So the same meaning is given. Nothing, a picture never has any meaning and it never serves any purpose. So as we have just now had a talk that art for art's sake. That means if you are really in pursuit of see in the beauty, that means you are making some effort and you are trying to search the beauty in it. That's all. And if you ask what purpose and how much it is going to bring the wealth and all, that is of no meaning to the painter, isn't it? So the girl held it in the light, turned it round and scanned the painting. So looking at this picture, which was full with so many kinds of pictures, the lines, colors, and all that, and she held it in the light. She turned it round and round, and the entire picture was painted so beautifully with all see different kinds of pictures on it. And see the hustling girl looked at the picture round and round and scanned the painting, and she tried to find out, elicit some meaning out of it and what is all about. So this, since this man has spent so much of time painting on the picture, so she tried to find out the meaning and she tried to find out what is exactly there. So she looked at, she scanned the painting, and not only in the daytime but even in the night also. Even in the night, she lit a lamp and held the scanned and scanned it in silence and wonder next day. That means she looked at the pot. That means that picture, the drawings on the picture, and she scanned in silence. She, with a lot of concentration, she used to look at them. She finding and eliciting the meaning of it and the purpose of it. And she wondered next day. Her feet were little less hurrying, mindful of thoughts. So that means something has changed in her mind, so her mind is filled with a lot of thoughts. She was thinking about those pictures and the utility of them. So those beautiful drawings, those colors and all that were there in her mind. So all the time she was entertaining the thoughts of such. So what happened, she was a very hurrying girl, but now she is going to say fetch the water with a see her feet how she stopped. See her feet now started um, less hurry, and because of the mind, because the mind is full of thoughts. Then the unemployed man asked for some more work. So the picture was given to the hustling girl, and hustling girl looked at the picture. She did not understand anything. Day and night she watched, and her mind has filled with a lot of thoughts. And she started. She was a little, less hurrying in doing her own regular activity. The unemployed man asked for some more work. So what he asked for? He asked for some ribbons of her, so that he would color it and give it back. So the ribbons were made under the painter. This man, made beautiful ribbons with gleaming colors and all that. So that way he asked for the picture. He asked for the ribbons and. All see art, all his great work was put on the picture and also on the ribbon. So the girl is so much fascinated and was unable to understand what is all about, but somehow she got stuck to it, and she was her mind is full of the thoughts of the pictures and all that, and she was fascinated by his work of art. Now the music girl spent a long time and colored ribbons. So she started tying those colored ribbons in some way or the other on her head, and she was looking in the mirror, changing the shapes and all that. So that way, all time she has engaged in decorating her her hair with the colored ribbons. So since she was engaged so much in enjoying the beauty of the nature, so what happened? Much work left unfinished. So in workers' paradise, work began to suffer. So it has been going for so many days, and he started interfering in everybody's work. So that way, one after the other, the people of the paradise got becoming lazy one after the other. In workers' paradise, work began to suffer, and the people became idle and wasting time on unnecessary things. So they started wasting the time on unnecessary things. So what happened? Painting and sculpture. What are the unnecessary things? They say it is painting and sculpture. So they consider that painting and sculpture is not at all necessary because they are of no more use. They are not going to get anything out of it. So that way, the workers in the paradise consider the work of art is of no use, but still they engage in it, and see they are wasting their time. So that way work suffered, and this has made a very big difference in the workers paradise. So elders became anxious because all work is being pending for so many days. The functioning of the entire workers paradise have been halted. So they immediately held a meeting, and the head of the paradise was called has convened a meeting with all the workers in the paradise. And then they try to find out a reason why this has been taking place. So then Ariel confessed that no, I brought a wrong man in this paradise. So the Ariel confessed, and he said that I brought a wrong man in this paradise, because the man who enjoys the beauty of the nature, and that means who is engaged in unproductive work, has no place in the workers' paradise. So that way, I made a mistake. Ariel confessed that I brought a wrong man in this paradise, and the wrong man was asked to leave the paradise. After see their arguments, the elder of the paradise, she ordered him to leave the paradise at once. So the man was very happy because he shied in great relief, because he was there for a very long time having no work to do. Then he also got vexed and he wanted to leave that place. Then the girl, the hustling girl, the girl of the torrent came and said, "Wait a moment, for I too will go with you." So the girl was so impressed and so changed her mind, and she got she addicted to the enjoying the beauty of the parts and the ribbons that he has made, the paintings that he has made. So she got fascinated and she took it to her heart, and she also wanted to leave the paradise and come along with this man. So to that extent it all went. So he influenced the people in the workers paradise, and see everybody started stopping doing their own work, and the work was suffered. Meeting was called on, and he was asked to leave the paradise immediately. But the girl who took pity on him and gave some work, wanted to see give him some work, gave her picture, gave the color ribbons and all that. But in turn she got the beautiful paintings and the picture and also the coloring on the ribbon, and she got fascinated, and so that way she was very much influenced by the work of this wrong man. So that's how the lesson ended. So the elders at the end, the elders gasped and in surprise and say, "Never before had a thing like this happened in workers' paradise. In workers' paradise, never see in the previous time, never such things has took place. A thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all." So still, the elders of the paradise have come to a conclusion that the work of art, the paintings of this man, the work of art has no meaning and no purpose at all, because all the time they are very productive in nature. So they just look at the productive side, not on the aesthetics, and whatever is bringing the wealth, whatever is creating some product at the end is very important than see enjoying the beauty. So the philosophy of workers paradise is whatever they do, it must be utilized, it must have some utility with it. That means it should have some materialistic progress or materialistic say benefit. So when there is no materialistic benefit in say painting and say making sculptures and all, that is of no use for them. So they upheld their own philosophy, they upheld their own principles, and this man was sent out of the paradise also. So that way the lesson ended. But if you look at the look at your own hobbies, just you have before that yeah, in conclusion we will talk about this. What is the meaning and purpose of this lesson? If you go into it, the meaning and purpose is there is a we have a life, we have work, and we have leisure. So we need to balance our work and we need to balance our leisure also. So life should not be too engaged with a lot of work, and life should not be too much of leisure. So too much of leisure and too much of work is not say recommended, but there should be some balance, and the life should offer both the work and also the leisure. So you need to appreciate the work of art, at the same time you should work. So those who are having good art, normally in this particular world, especially the world is full of materialistic outlook, may not appreciate the work of art. So looking at the utility, what should be the utility? So all the time we may not go for utility. That means the end product of that may not be materialistic. If the end product gives you happiness, then your life is meaningful and you can enjoy that. So what all see, what do you get from the materialistic progress? Only through for your happiness and for fulfilling your needs, isn't it? So when you are not getting that satisfaction, or which does not give you happiness, what is the use of materialistic progress? So the aesthetics should also be there. So you have to appreciate the work of art, and at the same time, wasting our time solely on some particular activity is of no use. So there should be some utility. So he has not given any conclusion. We only need to infer whatever is best suited for us, or whatever the message that can be taken from the lesson. So you look at your hobbies. There may be some fine arts, painting, music, and dance, and a hobby became our career. Suppose if your hobby becomes your career, how beautiful it is. We see hobbies and career are both different things. So career, we take it for earning the money, and see getting some what you call a promotion and all that. But hobbies are different. But how, why do you separate them? If your hobby becomes your career, then certainly you can enjoy more and more, because you can put all your mind and heart into it. And values are more important. How do we estimate? How do we estimate a work of art value? We cannot. So what value art and artist have? So whatever, if you look at art and artists, we consider them that it is mere waste of time. No. So since from the ages past, since man's coming on the earth, we started see was exhibiting certain talents in us in the form of an art. So their arts, beautiful arts, ancient arts are still being appreciated by the people. Still people pursue them. So that means art and artists are very valuable people. We just can't estimate the worth of them. So don't think that the artist and artistic artists and their values are useless because they don't have the utility purpose. So we all the time look at the usefulness, but at the same time we should also go for the happiness. Usefulness and happiness should come, and the purpose of arts. See whether they are serving the purpose. The purpose of the art is art for art's sake only. Don't see gauge the value of the art with the materialistic progress. So art is something great, something beautiful, something to be pursued, and artists make a beautiful work of art for the sake of art only, and it need not have any meaning or productivity with it to the common man, isn't it? So again, there is a message for all of us that we should have a balance in our lives. So have some work and also some art. So life is a mixture of both of them. So pursue them so that you will have a wonderful time. So this is what the substance of the lesson, the from Mind in Workers Paradise. Thank you very much.